Good morning from Wuhu, Anhui Province in China, where we stayed for a 6-day and 5-night business trip. It's 7:40 a.m. and we are now leaving our hotel, Suning Universal Hotel for Shanghai-Pudong International Airport, where we'll be flying once again with Philippine Airlines back home to Manila in the Philippines. It's currently 8:22 a.m. and we're taking a chartered bus to Shanghai-Pudong, which should take around 4 to 6 hours. True enough, nearly 6 hours later at 2:09 p.m., we are now arriving at Shanghai-Pudong International Airport Terminal 2, where Philippine Airlines operates its once-daily flights between Manila and Shanghai. There was a security check at the entrance of the terminal, which I thought was only a thing in the Philippines. It was quick anyway, and we are now heading to check-in counter C, where we can drop off our bags as we already checked in online. Our original flight was actually scheduled a day earlier but was cancelled, and we were moved today, April 24, 2023. We completed our check-in at 2:23 p.m. and I was informed that my pre-selected seat had to be changed as my original selected seat was broken. This won't be the case though, as you'll find out later. After about 40 minutes, we completed immigration and security, which were both quite strict. We actually have lounge access but we barely have time. You can check it out though in a business class version of this flight with Kyle's trip report. The link should be in the description, comments, or on your screen. For us, we'll be heading to gate G167, which is located at the satellite terminal. Our flight is scheduled to board at 3:15 p.m., which is just a few minutes from now, and we have to take a short train ride to get there, so we actually don't have much time.
尊敬的旅客和工作人员朋友们，您好，为保护您和
At 3:11 p.m., we got on the train and left for the satellite terminal. The ride was quick and took around 8 minutes, and we will now head directly to the gate as we don't have much time left, as I mentioned. The airport seems to be very quiet at this time. I wonder if it's always like this. I'm not sure of the food choices here, and sadly, we don't have enough time to look around. I arrived at gate G167, which was at the end of this level of the terminal, at 3:22 p.m. I saw our plane already parked and thankfully, boarding hasn't begun. And a pleasant surprise for me, we'll be flying on RPC 7777, Philippine Airlines' oldest Boeing 777-300ER. I first rode this aircraft in November 2009, around 2 weeks after it was delivered to the airline on November 11, 2009. I was still in elementary school then. And it's now 3:38 p.m., around 23 minutes after our scheduled boarding time. An announcement for our flight was made in Chinese, which passengers seem to have mistaken it for a boarding announcement. Boarding officially commenced at 3:45 p.m., 30 minutes behind schedule, and at the time the gate was supposed to close. Again, I'm quite excited to be getting on this specific aircraft. That flight in 2009, which was from Hong Kong to Manila, was actually my first time on a Boeing 777. This aircraft is equipped with 42 seats in business class in a 2-3-2 configuration and 328 seats in economy with a standard 3-4-3 configuration. I was assigned seat 53H. I originally selected seat 53K, which is a window seat, but the check-in agent said my selected seat was broken. Anyway, each seat comes with IFE and provides plenty of space despite the tighter width. This is also an older model Recaro seat, but it is still comfy. The aircraft is also frequently used for flights to North America. With a very light load today, boarding was completed very quickly and we will soon be ready to depart for Manila, with the safety video now being shown. If you noticed, I was also able to move to my original seat, which the check-in agent said was broken. The cabin crew told me that that's not the case, and I can go ahead and take it as I originally wanted. I also selected this row because unlike the rest of the cabin, this gets a 2-4-2 layout. At 4:11 p.m., cargo is still being loaded into the plane. I had a quick chat with the flight attendant during boarding and she told me that the aircraft for this flight was supposed to be an Airbus A321ceo, just like when we made our way here. It was upgraded to this Boeing 777 as a lot of cargo was expected to be loaded. Probably that's a lot of online shopping orders of many Filipinos back home. Pushback finally commenced at 4:25 p.m. and I took this opportunity to try out the in-flight entertainment. It appears to be exactly the same as when I first flew in this aircraft in 2009, with an updated selection. Sadly, it's still not as much as you'd get on newer PAL aircraft and the screen itself isn't as responsive, but it works I guess. Definitely better than on my Thai Airways flight earlier this year, which had a very poor IFA screen. The engines are now starting and you just really have to love how the GE90 engines sound. Extremely powerful. And now it's time to taxi to runway 35 right for our departure. At 4:38 p.m., we're finally lining up on the runway and in just a few seconds, we'll finally depart for Manila, about an hour delayed. Takeoff was a bit rough, but not too bad. The airport surrounding area was covered in clouds. The past few days has been very rainy here in China, dropping the temperature by nearly 10 degrees Celsius, making it very cool. Interestingly, the seatbelt sign was switched off but immediately switched on again. It was then switched off again just a minute later, which signals the start of cabin service for this flight. I am currently trying to connect to the free in-flight Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, I was not able to get it to work, unlike my companion who was able to use it successfully. My special meal was also served immediately, ahead of everyone else's standard meals. I requested for a no seafood meal through PAL's messenger chat. While it would be better to do this during booking or in the managed booking portal where you can't, it was easy and hassle-free to use their chat feature. So I was served some kind of chicken served with rice and a side of broccoli. It also came with a piece of bread and butter, a side salad, and fruits for dessert, as well as a cup of water and a can of your choice of drink. I chose a 7-Up and I was given the whole can without the need to ask. Thumbs up for sure. I started my meal with the wheat bread, which was nice and soft and not dry at all. The butter also complemented it very well. Now it's time to go for the main meal, to which I was also surprised with how big the chicken was. It also wasn't dry and the taste was just right. Flavor was a bit light but I liked it. The sauce was also very creamy, which I also liked. And after a really good meal, it's time to check out the lavatory. You can tell from this that the aircraft is already quite old with how the lavatory looks, but at least it was still very clean. I also checked out the middle seats before heading back to my seat. As you can see, recline is quite generous despite being on the last row of this cabin. I was also definitely lucky with this flight as the sunset began as we left Chinese airspace. And at 7:04 PM, the pilot is now doing his announcement and descent will start in about 7 minutes, while we're expected to land in 30 minutes. We began our descent at 7:13 PM, China and Philippine time. Not long after, the seatbelt sign was switched on and the cabin crew started preparing the cabin for our arrival. As we approach Manila Airport, let's talk about our overall flight experience. Starting from Shanghai-Pudong International Airport, it was a fairly pleasant experience except for the security check, which was quite stressful. Our boarding and departure may have been delayed, but the flight experience more than made up for it. The aircraft, despite being old, is still well maintained. It's very clean and comfortable. A newer IFE system would be great for sure, but since this was just a little more than 3-hour flight, I didn't mind. The crew on this flight were also superb. Their service shows what PAL is known for and really is so much better compared to what I experienced in my Seoul flights recently. The food was also really good. Big thank you to the cabin crew on my previous flight for recommending a special meal request. What PAL will really just need to improve now is consistency in its fleet, as well as modernizing its Boeing 777 fleet, though I think they are already due for replacement, probably by the Airbus A350-1000s, which they just ordered. It was also great to be able to fly on this particular aircraft, RPC 7777 once again. This plane took me on my first 777 flight, and here we are reunited 14 years later. Anyway, let's enjoy the last few minutes of this flight. We touched down runway 06 at 7:38 PM, and I can already feel the heat outside from inside.
Mabuhay! Philippine Airlines welcomes you to Manila. The time is 7:38 in the evening and the day today is April 24, 2023. The ground temperature is recorded at 29 degrees Celsius or 84 degrees.
After a quick taxi, we're now pulling up to the gate in NAIA Terminal 2. We will now have to deal with the long queue to get our arrival QR code scanned at NAIA 2. Hopefully, it won't be too bad. This is also surely the last time we'll be arriving here on an international flight, as PAL, as I edit this video, has already moved all its international operations in Manila to Terminal 1.
Crew doors to this are cross-check.
We started disembarking the aircraft at 7:49 PM and now have to proceed to scanning our e-travel QR code, which is a requirement when arriving in the Philippines. Thankfully, it was quick this time. And I guess that concludes this trip report. Thank you for watching and see you again soon on our next trip to Hong Kong with Cathay Pacific.